Good morning, folks. Today's rant is from the island of Gran Canaria, where I'm on holidays, not from the biggest open air lunatic asylum in the world called Ireland. I'll call it a tale of two farms. Some years ago, Mr. Paul Reid was farming his lands between Dunbine and Leixlip, County Meath. And the IDA decided that they needed those lands to extend the Intel development, a huge factory in near Maynooth, employing 4 or 5 thousand workers, bringing in an awful lot of taxes from the tax on their employees for the state to keep the public servants and politicians snug and happy. Now, uh, so Mr. Reid didn't want his land, which he had farmed for generations. He did not want it compulsory purchased, so he fought it. It was a David Goliath fight. He didn't have a lot of money, but he had to go to the High Court. They ruled against him, and then he went to the Supreme Court. And lo behold, the poor man won. He nearly fell out of the forecourts. He was so exhausted and happy that his farm, which he had was in the family for centuries, was left alone, and he could continue to sow barley and oats. So, up the road a little bit, there's another farm belonging to two gentlemen, politicians, John, a current minister in Fine Gael, and Richard Bruton, a former Taoiseach. This is actually very close to a suburban rail line and near Dunbine village, which is almost a town now. Ideal for houses, yes, but it has been also rezoned for a long time now. But they're not interested in selling either. They don't need the bob or two, maybe 30, 40 million some developer might offer them. What would they do with all that money? The banks would charge them to mind the cash for them these days. So they're sitting there on a lovely little nest egg, and with the inflationary times we live in, it's probably increasing in value by 5 million a year. So here we have the rezoned land, no enforcement on building on it, owned by two of the fattest politicians in Ireland. Is it any wonder that the government are not bringing in any legislation to enforce developers or politicians or anybody else who even has rezoned land to build on that land? So, up to recently, the Brutons actually had a 24/7 police guard on their farmhouse, charged up to the state. The Gardaí in Dunbine, I'm told, hated the job. It was a cold and miserable job. They didn't even have a TV in the hut, um, and they were bored shitless. But a few years ago, the Brutons dispensed with this 24-hour security paid for by the state. I don't know why, because, something could have been stolen from their little farmhouse now and could be now. So, anyway, that's the total story of two farms. So, good luck and have a nice day. And I'll talk to you again soon, God willing.